2024 Wire4 is an Apollo-type near-Earth asteroid that is 58 to 78 yards in diameter. Now that looks a little small, but if this asteroid were to hit the Earth, it would make a crater bigger than the Arizona crater, which is 0.75 miles wide. Now, we used to think that this asteroid could possibly hit the Earth at a 1% chance, but that was ruled out. Now it has like basically a 0% chance of hitting the Earth, so we're fine. But now, as of 2026, it has a 4% chance of hitting the moon. And the last time we were able to observe it and calculate this was in 2025. And the next time we're going to be able to observe it and calculate the risk is in 2028. And a 4% chance, it sounds small, but it's really not. That's 1 in 25. Let's see if it's going to hit. Okay, so if it's 1, then that means it's going to hit us. Okay, so what are we going to do about this? Does it even matter? Well, if it hits the moon, of course, I already talked about the Arizona crater. It's going to create a big crater. And some people think that, if we let it hit, well, it would be really good for science because, we've never seen an asteroid hit the moon and create a crater. But yeah, I mean, I guess. But if it does hit the moon, when the crater is formed, it's gonna kick up a ton of rocks. And these are rocks big enough to hold in your hand. And we have a ton of satellites. There's way more satellites than you think. It's like we're actually polluting. We're actually polluting the sky. So the rocks could destroy a bunch of satellites. Now, since there's so many, what might happen is it starts a chain reaction. So a rock hits a satellite, and then that satellite's dead, and then it goes into another satellite, and yeah. That would be pretty bad, right? Not saying it's gonna happen, but that would be pretty bad. Do you know how many things rely on satellites? Obviously the internet. You're only watching this because there's a satellite in the sky, serving it to you. But it's also GPS. Imagine if you're on a plane over the ocean and the GPS just goes out and the pilots don't know where you are. I don't know what might happen. And also, this is very speculative. I mean, we could never know this unless you're a government agent, but there might be satellite weapons in the sky. Now, we signed a treaty with Russia, we as in the United States, that we wouldn't put any nukes in satellites. And, maybe we've adhered to that, maybe we haven't. But I think we have adhered to that. I don't know, but it's more likely that we don't. But North Korea, they actually had a satellite that went over the USA. So they know how to make satellites, of course. They could put a nuke on them, and as you guys know, they don't care about treaties, they don't care about human rights, they don't care about the Geneva Suggestion. So maybe, I don't know, probably not. But that would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? If a nuke fell down from the sky because of this. Anyway, so what are we gonna do about this? Well, I think first of all, we gotta figure out who's gonna do it. And I think it's gotta be the USA, okay? The USA has the best space program out there, and the second best space program in Russia. Russia is kind of in a war right now, so I don't think they're really gonna be focusing on 2024 Wire 4. Okay, anyways, how are we gonna do this? Well, this very long paper with very smart people proposes a few options. Now, one is that we could send a rocket up there and knock it off its course, which NASA actually has done very recently in 2022 to another asteroid. The paper says that this isn't very practical because you'd have to be very careful that you didn't accidentally redirect it to the Earth. And also, since it's pretty big, you'd have to hit a sweet spot of how much power you hit it with so as to not break it up into pieces. And another option actually was to break it up into pieces, but those big pieces could fling anywhere. So, and there's a few other things they said could be viable options, but the one I want to focus on is sending a nuke to the asteroid and atomizing it. And that is an option I'm very excited about because that is maybe the only use of a nuke that is good for humanity. Like protecting ourselves against an asteroid that's gonna make us extinct. Now, this isn't gonna make us extinct, but I think this would be very good practice for if such an asteroid were to appear. And in general, no matter what they choose to do, I think they should choose to do something because that would just be good practice, as I said. I don't know if we're going to send any nukes up there during Trump's presidency because I don't know if he knows what an asteroid is, but we can hope.